Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Beneath the Silence, Healing the Wounds of Betrayal Trauma. Today's episode is a follow-up to last week's episode regarding parenting through betrayal trauma, and this one is about rupture and repair, and this is healing relationships with children, whether they're young or grown. And so today I just want to welcome you back to the podcast. And I'm Sandy Joy, the host, and I'm really, really happy that you're here. And I want to issue a warm welcome to those who have listened to the podcast in the past and those who may be new. So I'm sending out a warm hug to each and every one of you, and a heart filled with gratitude for you. So, again, just thank you. Thank you for being here. As a reminder, my podcasts are not edited, as I feel very strongly that as human beings, we screw up. And I may say a word or five incorrectly or stumble over what I'm saying. Um, it's part of being human, and I'm very it's very vital to me that these podcasts are real, raw, authentic, and that I can be vulnerable with you, that I can make an error, and it will be okay, and that will happen because we're perfectly imperfect. So this episode, like I said, is a follow-up to last week's about parenting through betrayal trauma. And this one is focusing on the rupture and repair and what happens when relationships with our children are strained, wounded, and changed because betrayal trauma entered the family system. So, this is for parents who wonder, did I hurt my children because I was traumatized? Is repair still possible? Is it different with adult children? And if you're carrying guilt, fear, or grief as a parent, please hear this very gently. Rupture does not mean failure. Repair is not about perfection, and healing is possible even later in life. Okay? And there's no time frame. No time frame. So, what is rupture in the context of betrayal trauma? So, it refers to a break in connection, in trust, in emotional safety within a relationship. Okay? In families impacted by betrayal trauma, rupture may occur because a parent was dysregulated, overwhelmed, or unavailable. Safety could not be guaranteed. Secrets, lies, or harm entered the family system. And when it's a family, that's usually the perpetrator is one of the parents. Um, Survival took priority over attunement. Importantly, rupture is inevitable in relationships. Unrepair rupture is what causes lasting harm. Okay? Betrayal trauma complicates rupture because parents are often blaming themselves. That's that internalization. Afraid to revisit the past, unsure what is too much or too late. It's only too late if you're dead. And nothing can change in that. Okay. But it's also okay to have very strong boundaries around you, especially your adult children. And, your younger children, they can't run rickshaw over top of you. It's that they have to know routine, structure. Younger children, even teens, I can't stress enough how much they thrive on it. Especially, adolescents and teens may, you know, give you grief around, around curfews or around those rules or that structure. But really deep down, they thrive in knowing what to expect without willy-nilly consequences this time and no consequences next time. They thrive on knowing what to expect. So when they screw up, and they will, because they're kids, just like we do, it's appropriate consequences, whatever you decide what that is. Okay, so how betrayal trauma affects attunement. Well, first, what is attunement? Okay, so attunement is the ability to notice, respond to, and emotionally align with a child or an adult. Okay, okay, emotionally align. Betrayal trauma can disrupt attunement because parents may be in the freeze, fight, flight, fawn, or fold, preoccupied with survival, and that means they're in a state of hypervigilance because they're not feeling safe themselves, emotionally numb or flooded. Like there's so many things coming in, so much emotion, so many responsibilities, so many activations, triggers. Okay. And emotionally numb is they're it's something we do subconsciously, not consciously, but subconsciously to try not to feel because the feelings are so painful and there are so many of them. Okay. Um, it can also disrupt attunement. Betrayal trauma disrupts attunement due to managing ongoing danger and instability. Okay. There's ongoing betrayal happening, or if the perpetrator of the betrayal is not in a recovery and repair mode, then there's ongoing danger and ongoing instability and ongoing lack of safety. Okay. So, what can this look like? Emotional abstinence, irritability or overprotection, inconsistency, missed emotional cues. Hmm. This does not mean a parent didn't love their child. Excuse me, I'm going to take a little drink of water. My throat is a little bit dry. It means that the nervous system was under threat. Okay. Understanding this distinction is essential for self-compassion and then for repair to be able to happen. It's hard to repair when we're beating ourselves up. Self-compassion, giving self-grace, just like you would your best friend if they were going through what you were going through. Okay. Repair with minor children. So, what might this look like? With younger children, repair is often immediate, relational, and embodied. What it looks like is naming what happened in a simple language. Mommy was really angry, but not at you. I know I snapped at you. I'm not angry at you. Mommy is just going through a lot of things, and that's what's making me angry. And I apologize. And I'm going to try harder to not snap. It was not your fault. Naming it, owning it, and using simple language. Taking responsibility without oversharing. Okay, mommy's going through some things, or mommy and daddy are, and I'm really sad and I'm feeling hurt. You don't have to say why, what happened, what did daddy do, or what did mommy do. Okay, if you're the dad, reassuring the child of safety and care. And how do we do that? We reassure how much we love them and how much we will protect them and care for them as best we can. And sometimes we're going to make mistakes just like they do because we're human. And reconnecting through presence, not gifts, but through your actual presence. And and sometimes that's hard to do. So it's giving yourself an outlet for some of that emotion. It may be that you have to go out to the car and allow yourself to cry or scream or whatever it is you need to do so you can come back in and be present. Examples of this attunement working on repair is I was very upset earlier and I wasn't able to listen well. That wasn't your fault. That's on mommy, okay, or on mom. I'm working to get on getting help so I can show up better. It's okay to say you're in therapy or you're in counseling or you're seeing a coach, that you're getting help from a professional to, oh, pardon me, so you can show up the way you want to show up. It may be not fully how you would like to show up because you're unable, but it's giving yourself grace for that. Okay. Children do not need the full story, nor should they know the full story. It is not for them to know. What they need is to feel safe, to feel loved. They need honesty and consistency. Repair teaches children that relationships can bend without breaking, like a willow tree. Repair with adult children. Okay. So, and this is different when it's adult children, and it's often much more complex because your adult children are going to have their own thoughts and opinions and beliefs. Okay. Adult children may have their own trauma narrative, carry anger or grief or both, want distance, want answers, or none at all. They may not want to know anything. They may not want you to talk about it. Just look after yourself. Come to me when we can watch that movie or we can at dinner. Like they may not want to talk about it. Okay. Repair here is relational, not outcome driven. So I'm going to give you an example of this wanting answers thing or none at all. With my daughter, she always wanted answers, had millions of questions that were not any of her business. I am part of the reason I think that she is angry with me, disrespects me, is because I would not answer those questions because they were not for her to know. They were between her father and I. Her father, on the other hand, will share his version. Remember, he's the perpetrator. Denial, manipulation, lies, continue. Pathological liar. He will share his version. There may be a little tiny iota of the truth in there, but he will spin it. And because she wants the answers, that's what she's believing. Some people have said, well, you need to tell her all. You need to stick up for yourself. No, I don't, because it's not hers to know. And the only thing that will happen if I tell her all those truths is it will hurt her. It will harm her. I can't do that. I just can't do that. I'm getting emotional because I can't. I love her and I want her to be safe. But I can't tell her the full story. I can't. It's not hers, it's between her dad and I. Repair here is relational, not outcome driven. Oh, okay. So the one answer is my daughter, then not at all, none at all is my son. So we don't talk about it, and that's okay. So it's relational, and it's what they need. In reason, having boundaries. Okay. It's not outcome driven. What repair is taking responsibility without defensiveness, acknowledging impact, not just intent. And when they don't understand betrayal trauma, they may blame. Like again, like I said in last week's podcast, my daughter blames me, holds me 70% responsible. She told that we were in therapy. She told that to the therapist. 70%, father was 30%. I take no responsibility for his actions. None. Do I take responsibility for my my trauma responses? Yeah. but I also give myself grace and have empathy for self. That when you're in those deep, dark pits of pain, it's really, really hard. It's acknowledging impact, not just intent. Allowing adult children to have their own truth. And that's what I've done, especially with my daughter, is that she has to follow her journey. It's not my journey, it's hers. And she has to follow that how she sees fit. I still can be respectful of self and not allow disrespect and have my boundaries. And I do. And it has been 15 months. No, this is now, this is now March. So 17 months since I really have spoken to my daughter. And this is the second time there's been alienation. First time was 19 months in full, but we had started doing therapy before that, but there was no change after therapy. So when repair is not, or what repair is not, it's not forcing forgiveness. It's not demanding closeness. It's not defending survival choices. And it's not explaining away harm. It's a powerful repair statement might be, I can see how I hurt you. I didn't intend it, and I take responsibility for the impact. Repair with adult children often unfolds slowly and sometimes quietly. When repair is not immediately possible, so not all children, especially adult children, are ready or willing to engage in repair. This can be devastating for parents. And important truths. Repair requires consent from both parties, both sides. It requires that you cannot heal for someone else. I cannot heal for my daughter. I can only heal for me. My daughter has her own healing journey. She's 40, 41 now. She has her own healing journey. Your willingness matters, even if the relationship remains distant. And I'm willing to heal that, to work on our relationship if she is, but it has to be true and honest with integrity. Parents can still do their own healing work, which I have done. And it's an ongoing thing, even though the betrayal was 10 years ago. Well, it was our whole marriage, but D-Day was 10 years ago. It's an ongoing thing. It looks different, much differently. Part of my healing work is even doing these podcasts. And not that I'm healing myself, I'm not getting something from you, the viewer. It's that what helps me is that I feel I'm helping other people, even though I don't know who I'm helping or how I'm helping. I just hope that I'm helping even one person. And that's the silver lining of what I went through, is if this information, if this validation helps another person, that's great. Parents can still hold accountability internally, release shame, and model growth from afar. And repair is an offering. It's not a demand. Okay? So repair is a process, not a moment. Repair is rarely one conversation or one therapy visit or one whatever. It is shown through consistency, accountability, emotion regulation, and change behavior over time. And children of all ages watch for, Are you safer now? Are you more present? Are you willing to listen? Are you less defensive? This is where healing lives, not in the words alone, but in relational safety over time. Isn't that what we all need? And that is true as well, especially if you have adult children or teenagers that you've been alienated. There's a lot of pain, a lot of hurt with that. So do you feel safe with your child? Are they more present? Are they willing to listen to you and to take accountability for how they may have hurt you? And not that a child is responsible for the pain we feel given the betrayal, but they are responsible for their own actions. Okay? And are they less defensive? So it works both ways. Okay. And it's not too late. Again, I always say it's only too late if you're dead or can't even think about if they are. Then we can't heal because the relationship has ended fully, inevitably lasting. If betrayal trauma disrupted your parenting, that does not erase the love you gave. Repair does not require perfection. It requires presence, humility, and compassion. And no matter the outcome with your children, healing yourself is never wasted. Growth always matters, and repair can happen in many forms and in many, timelines. So, rupture, 3 takeaways is rupture is inevitable. Repair is what restores safety and trust. Repair with children looks different depending on their age, but accountability and presence matter at every stage. And repair is a process, not a single conversation, and it can't be forced. So I want to thank you for joining me today on Beneath the Silence, Healing the Wounds of Betrayal Trauma. And remember that healing is possible even from the most painful, deepest, darkest wounds. If this episode resonated with you, please let me know. And I would love to hear from you. If you can shoot me a comment, or an email at sandy@sandrajoy.ca, I would be so incredibly grateful. And if you have some ideas for future podcasts, something that you may be going through, and if you're going through it, others would be as well. Or something, maybe you have a question that I can expound on, please let me know. I really, really would love to hear, from you. If you'd like more resources or support, you can visit me at sandrajoy.ca. And of course, my betrayal trauma course is there. And if you're able, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. It ups the algorithm. I do not get any money from these podcasts at all. I do them to help others. But if you can up the algorithm, then it reaches other people who may be searching around betrayal or have experienced betrayal trauma. And so like and share the podcast will help with that as well. And next topic that I'm going to talk about is I'm going to do a deep dive into the topic of the damage that is done with having unsupportive family and friends when you're going through this. And this conversation matters and is very important. Why? Because you matter and you're very important. And until next time, please take gentle care of yourself. And as always, remember, I see you, I hear you, and I believe you. Until we meet again. Thank you.